I'm going to make a red bean soup. And what I don't want to do is break up the beans. But breaking up the beans gives you that nice creaminess. So, to get that creaminess, I'm going to slice paper thin those potatoes. And that'll give me a little body that I want in there. And we have quite a few items to go in this, so when it all winds up done, it's going to be delicious. Of course, it has to be. How can you go wrong with onions, peppers, carrots, garlic, a little piece of jalapeno, celery, some andouille sausage, bay leaf, thyme, some prosciutto, and kale, and a secret ingredient that I bought long time ago. I didn't even realize it was in my freezer, is this. You know, you can't find a ham bone when you're cooking beans. It's very difficult. So this is giving me, and that happens to be an excellent product, that gives me the flavor of the ham. Okay, so you got prosciutto, big deal, and the andouille sausage. But that ham flavor in there really makes a difference. Now I'm going to dice everything up, throw it all into the pot, add chicken stock to it, and just let it cook. The first thing I'm putting in there is the sausage and the prosciutto, and no oil. Let this cook for a few minutes and the fats will come out of that, so I don't have to add any more oil to this. When this cooks up, then I'll put in the vegetables. Raise the flame up a little and let that cook for a few minutes. No reason to waste film on this. Well, I don't know if you can see, but there's fat in the bottom there from that. And now I'm going to add the vegetables, and then go back over there and chop up the kale. And if you're not comfortable in dicing up, you know, small dice, and you have a Cuisinart, make big chunks, put them in the Cuisinart and just pulse it. I mean, for something like this, the vegetables don't have to be beautiful. So that's one easy way of doing it. It may seem like a lot of vegetables, but you know what? That's all good flavor. I'll lower the flame, let the vegetables sweat up in there. I'll get the kale and add it to that in a few minutes. Drop the beans in, the stock, and let it simmer. Well, chopped up the kale, so we might as well add that. If you like collard greens, you could put them in there. Put the thyme. And cook this up, raise the flame. I'm gonna like this already, I could tell. Okay, in a few minutes I'll be adding the beans and the stock. Now I'll add the potato, sliced nice and thin, and I don't think you're gonna see any potato in there. You won't recognize the potato later. This will all just disappear. And give us that nice body that we need for this without breaking up the beans, because they're so cute, those little beans. I had these soaking, but not overnight. I like those, they're cute. and they seem more delicate than the large red beans. Only thing that's left, well, we don't have to put any salt or pepper into this because it's going to be a soup. And the hot chicken stock has been sitting over here. Make your own chicken stock, buy it, but don't use the powder or cubes. Use one of the liquids. But better still, just cook up a chicken, a whole chicken. Now you know this is going to reduce, but I'm going to put a lid on it and let it simmer now until it's cooked. I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 hours. You never know with beans sometimes. If they're young or they're old, they take different amount of time. And then at the very end, I'll just put a drop of this in there. So now I can go and watch television and relax. It's been 25 minutes. I just come to check and see how things are. If you notice, the water level is a little below, so I should say the liquid. And what you have to do is just cover. Keep covering what's in there so it is loose like this. And let it simmer. It's now 2.5 hours and I'm done. Okay. Notice that's just right. You have nice broth there. You have the beans, the vegetables. Notice how the beans are floating and not sinking. And where are the potatoes? Like I said, they disintegrated, but they added a little thickness to the soup. It tastes good. And the only reason that I'm adding this ham base is for me. Otherwise, there's nothing wrong with the soup. It doesn't need anything. The sausage, just that much for all of that. The andouille sausage and the prosciutto gave it a nice flavor. And it took all this time for all those flavors to work together. So let's just look at a bowl of this after we add the 1 cup of scallions. This freezes well, there's no problem. All done. Let's look at it in a soup plate. I'm going to have this later with a scoop of white rice right in the middle of the soup plate. Looks good and it tastes good. So I hope you enjoy. And that's a lot. That must be about 5-6 quarts.